How your gluten intake could hinder your weight loss. Find out what he really thinks about you ordering that extra cocktail, and a look at the top spring designer outfits for unbelievable prices.
Welcome to Life Love Shopping. I'm Rachel Kay.
And I'm Michelle Yarn. We're also going to lay out the signs that you are burnt out at work.
Yeah.
But not only that, how to fix it and get yourself back on track.
That's the most important. And staying fit on vacation, I know we don't want to do it, we don't want to work out, but there's some super easy things you can do that won't really make you feel like you're working out.
Okay, and while we talk about health, here's some food for thought. You've heard of vegans, maybe pescatarians, but you may not have heard much about freegans.
Yeah. Those are people who choose to eat garbage to prove a political point, not because they're poor or desperate. And now this idea has spawned a restaurant that actually serves rubbish.
Okay.
Gleaner's Kitchen turns waste into wholesome meals. Maximus Thaler, student at Tufts University in Somerville, Massachusetts, came up with the concept. The not-for-profit kitchen determines their menu by whatever they find in trash cans and dumpsters. And don't worry, it's not unsafe. All the food is inspected and washed beforehand. They have a whole method of how they choose what food to use. Donations from grocery stores, independent organizations, and homes are also included. They have plans to open a small cafe in May. And here's some food for thought. Half of the food produced in the U.S. is thrown away. So would you eat here?
I can't wrap my head around it. I just can't do it. It's like they were just showing eggs. Okay, how long have they been in that dumpster? They're not being refrigerated. I get that, you know, grocery stores like that, the eggs,
have to throw certain things
if
away.
one is cracked, nobody's going to buy 11 eggs, so they have to throw them away. But I just can't wrap my head around that. I don't know. You would do it?
I feel like I would eat there because I would trust that it's a not-for-profit. It's going to be good for giving back to people, and I mean, it's
you don't
not
know
that
how long
dirty.
it's been sitting there. You don't know if it's expired. I get that they cook it. I guess it's just mind over matter for me.
It is mind over matter.
Let's talk about beer. How about that?
Oh, that's a much better topic.
I love beer. Now, when you hear topless beer, what do you picture? Does it look anything like this, maybe? Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
A Pennsylvania brewing company called Sly Fox is bringing the topless beer can to the U.S. They will be the first brewery here to try it out. It's a can where the entire top comes off, as you can see. So it's kind of like when you eat a fruit cup or something, just a little less healthy. It was first introduced in South Africa in 2010. It's catching on among craft brewers. They say it actually enhances the aroma of the beer.
I can see that.
So while you're drinking it, you can get the smells and, you know, take it all in. What do you think? It's kind of cool.
I think it's good. I don't think it would spill more easily on people because if you're drunk, you're going to spill no matter how tight that, even if you had a sippy cup,
you may have a Pilsner, you're going to spill that too, no difference, right? I would be kind of freaked out about like cutting my lips on the edges, but apparently that you don't have to worry about that. So I think it's kind of neat.
I think it's cool.
I mean, it could be the newest thing, just like wine in a box. Caught on and did well.
We like that. Well, going for a drink is, of course, a popular and common first date, but it may not be the best idea unless you stick to millionaire matchmaker Patty Stanger's 2-drink maximum rule. Cupid.com found that there is general agreement between men and women that it is easier to get it on with a date after a glass or two of alcohol. But if a guy is tipsy and trying to make a move, his chances go down. 1/4 of women said they prefer their date to be sober. Not surprisingly, that's 3 times more than men. So is drinking a turn off on a date? Nearly half of the male respondents think it's okay to drink, but not every night. 57% of women said that being drunk is a definite turnoff. 5% say they'd walk out on a date who got too drunk. I can tell you from experience recently, getting too drunk, the guy being too drunk, it's just, I was done. I was like, I want to go watch my DVR.
Listen, just like political views or whatever, it is really important to agree on your beliefs with drinking. Because if someone's against it and then they judge you for drinking, that can be an issue, or vice versa. So
you got to be sort of on the same level of drinkage.
Yeah, same level of drinkage. Write that one down.
Quote me. Trademark, Rachel Kay.
All right, trying on clothes, you know, that can be such a huge hassle, and you could actually be making it even harder on yourself. A Huffington Post blogger tells you which mistakes to avoid. That way you can make things easier. The first mistake, only bringing one size of jeans into the room.
What?
Okay? Jeans can be scary to try on, especially if you think you may have gained some weight, so you tend to grab the size you want to be.
Okay.
But if you want to prevent a pants nervous breakdown, grab the size you believe should fit you, plus one up and one down. And just remember, every brand and cut is different, so don't freak out. The next mistake, avoiding anything with a dry clean only tag. We were just talking about this, how we will pass those up.
I will.
But did you know you don't always have to listen to the washing instruction tags? Surprise, about 90% of clothes that say dry clean only can really be hand washed.
Ooh.
Then there's forgetting about tailoring. Don't forget, if something doesn't fit perfectly, you can always get it tailored. So fight the urge to throw it in that no pile. The tailor can make it look great. Just remember to use this rule with caution because you want to avoid tailoring knits or prints or hemming anything with embellishments like ruffles.
The spring season and the warmer weather serve up a fabulous occasion to show off all the season's trends.
Absolutely, and I have some really great designer pieces that can turn every day into fabulous. I'm talking about Marshalls.
Yes.
Because you know, it is so possible to look great without having to break the bank.
We love that.
Yeah, and Marshalls really has the hottest on-trend designer items. They're really gonna make your spring amazing. It's definitely the place to go for the items you want at those unbelievable prices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are some of the hottest trends? We've got a ton of them here.
I know, there's a lot. Okay, we're gonna start with color, pastel colors.
Yes.
Perfect for spring, we love them. They really bring out the tone of the season because they're fun and bright and flirty, and they're easy to use. You can even just accent your wardrobe if you want with a pastel bag like we have here, or some great designer jeans. That's an easy way to do it. If you want some feminine details, lace, another huge trend right now. As you can see, you can do a really cute lace top like these, or a fun flirty dress. And I love lace too, it's a good material because it's really easy to dress up or down. So like these lace shorts, for instance, you can just change up your accessories. So maybe you do some flats, and then if you want to dress it up, do a wedge, you know?
Right.
And speaking of these wedges, another popular trend,
of course,
floral patterns. Yes, they're so in. Even these shorts, perfect for a bright spring day. Floral dresses, great for any occasion. And at Marshalls, like I said, you get great designer dresses like these, way less than you're gonna pay at the department store. So we like that for sure, right?
Yes.
Now stripes, those are also fun, especially when you pair it with a maxi dress.
Like
the one
love
we have
that
here.
dress.
Isn't that
I want to take that home.
I know, it's perfect. And peplum, great feminine detail. The tops are good for a night out. You can even do it with a blazer for work or a business meeting. And the outfit that I'm currently wearing was purchased from Marshalls.
Fabulous, darling.
Thank you.
Fabulous.
And it's available now, so you can get this at your Marshalls locations. The color's really on trend, the cutout. If you just go to marshallsonline.com, you'll find the nearest location to you, and happy shopping.
Happy shopping. All right, thanks, Michelle. For more, just head to our website, lifeloveshopping.com.
And speaking of expensive designer duds, by the way, sorry ladies, but Louis Vuitton just got even more expensive.
What?
The brand has sneakily, by the way, raised prices across all markets for its non-leather handbags, which happen to be the bread and butter of their business. And almost simultaneously, Louis Vuitton announced plans to slow down retail expansion this year. They say it's due to overexposure in new markets. So they don't want to be everywhere. They want to be kind of exclusive. You know, the prices jumped about 10% in the UK and US, and between 5 and 10% in Asia. And just so you know, Louis is not the only luxury brand raising its prices. Chanel also hiked up the prices on some of its classic
what are we
bags
gonna do?
by as much as 20%. Now, to put that in perspective for you, before the price increase, a Chanel classic medium flat bag costs about $4,400. Post increase, expect to pay over $5,300. We're talking $1,000 more. Meanwhile, Hermes marked up bags, accessories, scarves, jewelry, and shoes at the beginning of the year.
We're just going to have to save so much more money to pay for our designer duds, Michelle. What are we going to do?
I am just not that person anyway, but for those of you who are worried about it, now you're going to pay a lot more.
Yes, you are. Well, the Princess of Palm Beach Prince has unfortunately passed away. Fashion designer Lilly Pulitzer died at 81 earlier this week. She was known for her tropical print shift dresses and lighthearted embrace of jarring color combinations like flamingo pink and apple green. Turns out the style was actually born out of necessity. In the late 50s, she was working at a juice stand in Palm Beach, Florida, and needed a dress to cover the stains from the oranges and the grapefruits, and that's when Pulitzer had one made basically from kitchen curtain material, creating the really now popular look. Her looks are often thought of as a mark of membership for old money families, and people will refer to her creations simply as lilies. And when Jackie O wore one of her dresses, that's when they really took off. So we'll be sharing some of her cheery looks with you throughout the show to honor her and her designs to fashion.
They really are kind of fun and cheery, aren't
they? They are. The prints are really actually detailed. If you look from far away,
yeah.
Just looks like a print, but up close you'll see some of them are like alligators and different cups, and you can't really tell.
I imagine a lot of people are going to be taking them out of the closet now and wearing them again.
Yes.
All right, well, when Life Love Shopping returns, your vacation workout plan, that's actually fun.
We promise. Find out from the creator also of the South Beach Diet why gluten could be stopping you from losing weight. That is up next. You've heard of the South Beach Diet and going gluten-free. Now the two are being combined in a new book called The South Beach Diet Gluten Solution. And the author, Dr. Arthur Agatston, is here to tell us about it. Welcome, Doctor.
Hi, Rachel.
All right, help us clear up this whole gluten debate. How do you even know if you need to use this diet?
Well, the whole gluten solution is a guide to each individual to teach you what your own gluten threshold is. If you have celiac disease, the extreme form of gluten sensitivity, you have to be absolutely gluten-free. But beyond that is a big spectrum. I'm sure a lot of your listeners who wake up in the morning and during the day have headaches and stomach aches and joint pains and fatigue and nasal congestion and many other problems. And a good proportion of these people are gluten sensitive. They owe it to themselves to find out because it can be cured without a single pill.
So this helps you find out if you have a negative reaction to gluten by basically you remove foods and then you sort of work them back in, right? Take us through kind of quickly the three phases of the diet.
Sure, yeah, and it's important to understand, you know, the South Beach Diet first phase was always intentionally grain-free. It turned out to be unintentionally gluten-free because if you're grain-free, you're with very little gluten.
Right.
And you know, people lost weight. They improved their blood chemistries as we expected. What we didn't expect was to see remissions in psoriasis, in polymyalgia, finding migraine headaches disappear. And I eventually realized that that was gluten. In the three phases, you begin eliminating all gluten, which for a month. And it's difficult to eliminate gluten for a lifetime, which you have to do if you have celiac disease or severe sensitivity, but it's pretty easy to do for a month. And you hopefully, all these types of general symptoms, fatigue, will go away, foggy mental status, all that will improve. Then you add back gluten gradually. For instance, many people will be able to have crackers and cheese and crackers at a cocktail party, but if they have a bowl of pasta, they'll be in trouble the next day. So it's a guide to learning where you are on the gluten spectrum. We call it being gluten aware rather than being gluten free.
It's good you don't have to totally give everything up you love. But okay, let's say you have a gluten allergy and it's not very severe, and say you want to just kind of ignore it or you don't want to give up your favorite beers. Are there any really long-term effects that you're going to have on your health?
For gluten sensitivity, we don't know. If you're very gluten sensitive and you continue to consume a lot of gluten, there's a good chance you could convert to celiac disease. And some people have autoimmune problems, from type 1 diabetes to thyroiditis to joint problems. One of our big discoveries was in a patient who gave up, did the first phase of the South Beach Diet, and her psoriasis disappeared. She was about to go on Enbrel, a pretty toxic drug, and didn't need it. So depending on what conditions the gluten sensitivity is associated with, it can become serious. For, again, the general population, they may just notice a burst in energy, better focus, and if they cheat and don't have so much energy, it's not going to hurt them. They just won't feel as well.
All right, thanks so much, Dr. Agatston. His book, The South Beach Diet Gluten Solution, is available now.
So there are so many beauty blogs out there, right? You can find info on anything your heart desires, but if you need a little guidance, GalTime.com reveals its list of the best beauty blogs on the web. So if you like a little entertainment with your beauty advice, then Beauty Blogging Junkie is the one for you, because in addition to those usual product reviews, the author actually writes some really fun and witty articles, and she interviews celebrity stylists to find out how they give A-listers certain looks and then the products that they use to get there. Yeah, I like this one too. It's the Clean Beauty blog. Now this is great for those of you who want to explore the more organic side of beauty, because it focuses on skin care and then it features natural, environmentally friendly products without all those synthetic chemicals. And there are also makeup artists and skincare specialists who will walk you through their own non-toxic beauty routines. And then finally, Beauty Crush. This is the blogging home of 23-year-old UK YouTube star Sammy, who you may have seen. She's all over. She's super popular fashion and beauty guru. She really weaves clothing, makeup, and hairstyling all together for a full look, and she models everything herself, which is cool, with links for everything. And she's actually a perfect example of real-world styling. So happy beauty blogging.
If you're anything like me, you like to work out even on vacation. Yes, it sounds like the opposite of vacay, but it can actually feel great. GalTime.com is telling you what you need to bring with you to stay fit. Like a jump rope, just do a little double dutch, perfect for packing light. And you don't even need a jump rope. You can just jump to your heart's delight without worrying about hitting anything. Pack some Zen, like a lightweight yoga mat. Perfect for doing yoga on the beach at sunset or sunrise, even a little meditation. And put on those shoes to lose. Pack a pair of closed-toed sneakers. You never know if you're going to need it for lifting weights, a little jog, or a little hike in the scenery on vacation where you're at. A great playlist, a workout playlist, is a must to get you amped up and ready to go. Just add some tunes that remind you of the place you're visiting. And there's always fitness on film. Be sure to bring some DVDs, perfect to just pop into your laptop and use at the hotel on those rainy days.
And when we talk about vacations, have you ever reached your destination only to say, not as cool as it seemed? Well, a travel writer told the HuffPost that in his 15 years abroad, he wants to help you from running into that. So here are some of his most overrated tourist destinations, and disclaimer here, because we talked about this. This is his list, not ours, because people are getting really fired up. The first city he said was Asheville, North Carolina. I think it's great. I've been there before.
You've been there.
He says the food is just okay, kind of ho-hum, traffic's bad, nothing to do. The biggest attraction is the Biltmore House, and it's overpriced. So instead, he says, if you want to see mountains, take the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is actually a really cool road. It runs right through Asheville, and visit the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Again, people fired up because they're like, this is all relative, right? That's your thought.
Yeah, it's all relative. I mean, he's traveled for 10, 15 years and wrote about all the different places he's been all around the world. So his opinion is completely, it's all relative. If you're someone who's not traveled anywhere at all or likes to travel to towns like Asheville or big cities, it's going to be different.
Asheville has great craft beers, by the way, too.
He conveniently left that point out.
San Francisco also on his list. And this one, a lot of people were PO'd about. He says the public transit's antiquated. Well, that's part of the charm of the city.
Yeah.
He said it feels dirty, which I have never seen. I've been there twice. Uncaring people, moody hipsters. He says instead visit the Bay Area as a whole. Go hike the mountains, see the redwoods, go to Napa Valley. Now the last one, Chicago. I know you get mad about this because you're from there. He says it's not world class by any means. It's so overrated. Baffling architecture, obnoxious restaurants, yada, yada, yada. He says, instead, go where there's cheaper beer and nicer people, which he says is Detroit.
Okay, that's rude. I'm a nice person. 1, I'm from Chicago. 2, if you're going to be a champion for unloved cities, write a darn article that is just about the cities that no one gets to visit or that you think are unloved, instead of bashing all these wonderful cities.
Yeah, and he also talks about Costa Rica and Austin, so check out the articles. Definitely a good one.
He better check himself a bash in Chicago. All those Chicago people, oh man, yeah, right? Still more to come on Life Love Shopping. We are sharing the telltale signs that your job is burning you out.
And you're going to find out the one common habit that can actually make you sick. We will reveal that next.
Welcome back to Life Love Shopping.
Okay, all you worry warts, you know you overthink the simplest things in life. Well, here is a reason to stop sweating the small stuff. That worrying is making you sick. Researchers from Ohio University found dwelling on stressful events can raise inflammation levels in your body by 20%. Now, if you're freaking out because you're a worrywart, slap a smile on your face right now, because believe it or not, even just faking a grin can help reduce stress responses and lower your heart rate. Now, that comes from a study from the University University of Kansas. Researchers believe that using certain facial muscles, like the ones you use to smile, actually sends a message to your brain to be happy.
By the end of the work week, many people are completely worn out. Is it the job or you that makes you feel this way? Forbes is breaking down the signs that it's probably the job. First, you're tired all the time and have no energy. Also, you don't feel enthusiastic about anything at your job anymore, and it's harder to get up in the morning. Or you may find it harder to pay attention or concentrate. A good sign is if you can't focus on the long term or anything for a long period of time, and if your job performance starts to slip up. Also, watch out because this can cause health problems as well. You may realize you're eating too much junk food.
Yeah, and you're stressed out 90% of the time as well. And so once you know the signs, here are some possible ways to fix it. Unplug when you're not at work. So create some time to do nothing. Make sure you get enough sleep, really important. You could also join a club, take vacations, maybe volunteer, anything unrelated to work. Also, make sure that it's you and not actually the job. You gotta be able to make that distinction. Figure out when enough is enough and keep it moving, because your happiness, your health should always be number one. A lot of times we get it twisted and we put work as a priority.
Right,
you know?
and we put our health to the side. That smiling trick really does work. Another trick is if you're having a tough time or in a bad mood, put on a song that you love that really puts you in a good mood to sort of change your emotion.
It's funny when we work, we all have headphones in. We've got like Pandora or Spotify going. It just puts you in a better mood.
It does. Well, here at Life Love Shopping, we of course want to connect with you when we're not on TV. You can stay in touch by liking our Facebook page and follow and tweet us on Twitter at Life Love Shop.